Chronic stress is a silent killer, eroding mental health one day at a time. Unlike short-term stress, which can be beneficial by motivating us to act, chronic stress is persistent and overwhelming. Over time, it damages the brain and drains the body's ability to cope. Its impact is often invisible, but the consequences are far-reaching. Stress activates the fight-or-flight response, preparing the body for danger. In short bursts, this response is beneficial, helping us stay alert and perform under pressure. However, prolonged activation of this system, as seen with chronic stress, keeps the body in a constant state of alertness, which over time can have serious effects on mental health. One of the first areas affected by chronic stress is the brain. Prolonged stress leads to high cortisol levels, the hormone associated with the body's response to stress. High cortisol levels can damage the hippocampus, a part of the brain involved in memory formation and learning. As a result, people under chronic stress may experience memory problems and difficulty concentrating. Furthermore, chronic stress impairs neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and rewire itself. Stress essentially narrows the brain's capacity to develop new connections, limiting the ability to learn and process new information. This explains why stress often leads to feelings of mental fog and inability to focus. Chronic stress is also a major trigger for anxiety and depression. It activates parts of the brain involved in emotional regulation and fear responses, which leads to heightened states of anxiety. Stress can also contribute to depressive thoughts by lowering the levels of serotonin, the neurotransmitter responsible for mood regulation. Over time, this can lead to a self-perpetuating cycle of anxiety and depression. Additionally, chronic stress has a direct impact on emotional regulation. It leads to irritability, mood swings, and a heightened emotional response to minor stressors. The ability to stay calm in difficult situations becomes increasingly difficult, which makes it harder to handle everyday challenges. The emotional toll can create a sense of being overwhelmed and out of control. The brain's prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision-making, reasoning, and impulse control, is also affected by chronic stress. High cortisol levels weaken the prefrontal cortex, impairing the ability to make rational decisions. This is why people under constant stress may make impulsive decisions or struggle to solve problems effectively. Furthermore, chronic stress can reduce motivation and drive. It can lead to burnout, where individuals feel emotionally drained and unable to continue their tasks. This loss of motivation often results in procrastination and avoidance, which compounds feelings of guilt and inadequacy. In severe cases, chronic stress can cause physical and mental exhaustion, rendering people unable to function at their best. Sleep is another area heavily affected by chronic stress. High cortisol levels disrupt the body's natural sleep-wake cycle, making it difficult to fall asleep and stay asleep. Sleep deprivation worsens the effects of stress, creating a vicious cycle. Lack of rest leads to heightened stress, which makes it even harder to sleep. Over time, insomnia becomes a common issue for those dealing with chronic stress. Chronic stress doesn't just impact the mind. It also has severe physical consequences. One of the most well-known effects is its ability to raise blood pressure, putting strain on the cardiovascular system. High blood pressure increases the risk of heart disease, stroke, and kidney problems. Stress-induced high cortisol levels cause the blood vessels to constrict, which reduces blood flow and places additional stress on the heart. The immune system is also compromised by chronic stress. Long-term stress suppresses the production of immune cells, weakening the body's defense against infections and diseases. People under chronic stress are more likely to catch colds, flu, and other illnesses due to the reduced immune response. Stress-induced inflammation can also contribute to the development of chronic conditions like arthritis and autoimmune disorders. Digestive problems are another common consequence of chronic stress. The body's fight-or-flight response redirects blood flow away from the digestive system, impairing digestion. This can lead to symptoms like nausea, heartburn, irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, and indigestion. Stress also disrupts the gut microbiome, which is crucial for digestive health and overall well-being. Stress can even affect weight. The body's response to stress increases the production of cortisol, which is linked to weight gain, particularly around the abdomen. Stress-induced emotional eating can lead to poor dietary choices, contributing to obesity. This is another cycle where stress causes weight gain, which in turn causes more stress due to body image issues. Over time, chronic stress can take a toll on the relationships. Individuals under stress may become irritable, withdrawn, or more emotionally distant, which makes it difficult to connect with others. Social withdrawal and a lack of emotional availability can cause conflict and alienation, both of which worsen the individual's sense of isolation and mental health. One of the most detrimental effects of chronic stress is its potential to perpetuate feelings of hopelessness. When individuals are consistently stressed, they may begin to feel as if they have no control over their lives. This helplessness can lead to a feeling of being trapped in a cycle of negative thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. It becomes harder to break free from the negative mental state stress creates. While the effects of chronic stress may seem overwhelming, it is important to remember that healing is possible. Awareness is the first step to recovery. By recognizing the symptoms of stress and taking proactive steps to manage it, individuals can begin to restore their mental and physical health. In the next part, we will explore practical strategies to overcome the damaging effects of chronic stress and build resilience. Managing chronic stress requires a multifaceted approach. The first step in recovery is awareness. Recognizing that you're under chronic stress allows you to take the necessary steps toward healing. Without acknowledgement, it's difficult to address the root causes of stress. Start by evaluating the sources of stress in your life and identifying patterns of stress-triggering situations. One of the most effective tools for managing stress is mindfulness. Mindfulness involves staying present and fully experiencing each moment without judgment. Research shows that mindfulness meditation can help reduce cortisol levels, improving both mental and physical health. It encourages deep, calming breaths and helps you detach from overwhelming thoughts. Deep breathing exercises are another valuable technique. These exercises stimulate the body's parasympathetic nervous system, which triggers the relaxation response. Slow, intentional breathing helps lower blood pressure, reduce heart rate, and release muscle tension. Taking just a few minutes a day to focus on deep breathing can reduce stress and improve clarity of mind. Exercise is also a powerful tool to combat the effects of chronic stress. Physical activity promotes the production of endorphins, chemicals in the brain that help improve mood and reduce pain. Aerobic exercise, such as jogging, swimming, or cycling, has been shown to reduce anxiety and depression, making it an effective way to manage stress long-term. In addition to regular exercise, getting quality sleep is crucial for managing stress. Chronic stress often leads to sleep disturbances, which exacerbate feelings of fatigue, irritability, and lack of focus. Prioritize sleep by establishing a consistent bedtime routine, avoiding caffeine before bed, and creating a relaxing sleep environment to ensure adequate rest. Social support is another critical factor in managing chronic stress. Talking to friends, family, or colleagues about your feelings can reduce emotional burden and increase feelings of connectedness. Having a strong support network can help you feel understood and validated, which is essential for mental health recovery. Therapies, such as cognitive behavioral therapy (CBT), have been shown to be effective in treating the mental and emotional effects of chronic stress. CBT helps individuals reframe negative thought patterns, turning destructive thinking into positive, constructive action. This type of therapy helps individuals identify and challenge stress-inducing thoughts, leading to healthier responses to stress. Additionally, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing (EMDR) is effective for individuals with trauma-induced stress. EMDR helps to process and desensitize traumatic memories, allowing individuals to move past the emotional baggage that stress brings. This therapy has helped many people regain control of their mental health and break free from the cycle of stress. A critical aspect of stress recovery is building resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity. It involves cultivating a growth mindset, embracing challenges, and seeing failures as opportunities to learn. Individuals who are resilient approach stress with a sense of hope and adaptability, which enables them to cope more effectively with life's challenges. Practicing gratitude is a simple but powerful way to manage stress. When you take time each day to focus on what you're grateful for, you shift your mindset from focusing on the negative aspects of life to recognizing the positive. Studies show that gratitude is linked to increased well-being, mental clarity, and reduced symptoms of stress and anxiety. Another important practice is time management. When we feel overwhelmed, it's often because we're juggling too many tasks. By organizing and prioritizing tasks, you can reduce the feeling of being swamped by responsibilities. Break larger tasks into smaller, more manageable steps, and set clear deadlines. This will help you regain control over your day and reduce stress. Positive self-talk is an effective technique to counteract the negative impact of chronic stress. Individuals experiencing stress often engage in negative self-talk, which exacerbates feelings of anxiety. Replacing these negative thoughts with encouraging positive statements can help shift your mindset from self-doubt to self-empowerment, making it easier to cope with stress. In addition to the mental benefits, nutrition plays an essential role in stress management. A balanced diet rich in whole foods, lean proteins, and healthy fats provides the body with the nutrients it needs to cope with stress. Vitamin B, magnesium, and omega-3 fatty acids are especially beneficial for mental health, as they support brain function and regulate mood. Reducing the intake of caffeine, sugar, and processed foods is also important. These substances can cause spikes in cortisol levels, leading to increased stress. Instead, focus on drinking water and herbal teas such as chamomile or peppermint, which are known for their calming effects on the body. Building healthy boundaries is essential for managing chronic stress. Setting limits on your time and energy allows you to protect your well-being. It's okay to say no to requests that overwhelm you, and it's important to carve out time for self-care and relaxation. Boundaries create space for you to recharge and reduce the emotional and physical toll of stress. Forgiveness is another important tool in managing stress. Holding on to grudges and anger only increases stress levels. By learning to forgive others and yourself, you release the emotional weight that keeps you stuck in a cycle of negativity. Forgiveness brings freedom, reducing feelings of resentment, and allowing you to focus on healing and moving forward. Finally, taking breaks throughout the day is vital for reducing stress. Step away from your tasks for a few minutes, go for a walk, or simply close your eyes and breathe deeply. Short breaks help to reset your mind and body, reducing the physical tension caused by stress. Rest and recovery are essential for long-term mental and physical health. In conclusion, chronic stress is a powerful force that can severely impact mental and physical health. However, by practicing stress management techniques such as mindfulness, therapy, exercise, and self-care, individuals can regain control over their well-being. With the right tools, it is possible to break free from the damaging effects of chronic stress and live a healthier, more fulfilling life.